Welcome to Wrestling with Noah. This week we have just one report and huge news. First is two big things that happened. The first one is right here from WrestleZone. TNA is coming back starting January 14th, 2024. And that means no more Impact Wrestling. So that means all the championships with the name Impact is getting changed back to the TNA name, the World Championship, the Knockout Championship, the X Division Championship, the Knockouts Tag Team Championship, all the championships going back to the TNA name in January 2024, and not just any TNA show, but the first ever Hard to Kill under the TNA name on Fight. All of this is happening. Who knows what could happen? We might get the six-sided ring back. Before it was a regular square ring. So that might happen. We might get, I don't know, the Grand Championship, where we had judges ringside scoring who would win the Grand Championship. We might get, let me make sure I get this right, Lethal Lockdown. Yeah, that's right. So that would mean this red steel cage comes back and it covers the entire ring, but it doesn't cover the ground, so it would cover just the ring, just the steel, kind of like just a steel cage, but more of a circle, I guess you can say. Maybe a different shape, but it wasn't a square steel cage from what I remember. With TNA coming back, I started watching TNA in 2015, so I know the history of TNA. They started in 2001. They were on FS1, back then known as Fox Sports Net. They were on Spike TV for 12 years. And then they moved to, actually before they moved to Pop TV, their longest TV home was and still remains to this day Spike. When they were on at the time Fox Sports Net, they went on for almost a decade, 2 decades. They were on, I want to say, 2 years, so 2004 to 2006. And then when Spike said, no, we're not gonna renew your TV deal and keep you on Spike, TNA went to Pop TV. And that was different, but it was still good because TNA fans could still watch TNA. So, and it was well, actually before Pop, I just remembered it was Destination America. So they were on Destination America in 2013, 2014, and then they changed to Pop. And that went to 2019, 2019. And then the off Pop, they change over and they go to something wrestling fans, even myself, I never even heard of this. The Pursuit channel. So it was hard for fans to watch it. So what they ended up doing was they did a simulcast on Pursuit, and they also did it on Twitch. So that went on for a few months, and then they moved to Access TV in October 2019, where they still are today. And if this means TNA is gonna get a bigger TV deal, get off Access TV, they're gonna probably go to, there's no telling where they might go. There's so many ways this could happen. They're on there's just so many different ways that TNA can get more fans today, well, even in 2024. But they could just go away from Access TV. They can go to, I don't know, I can't say ESPN, maybe ESPN. I don't know if they were willing to get TNA. Maybe Fox Sports might get them because they started off with them when it was Fox Sports Net. Maybe Spank, but that's up to Paramount. Does Paramount want TNA in 2024? They wanted them 2006, I want to say. But in 2024, we don't know. They might go to Prime Video, maybe. I don't know how Amazon feels about getting TNA. That would be pretty cool, but I don't know. Maybe Peacock. No, but Peacock is with WWE for WWE Network in the US. So I don't see how that is gonna work, but it might. So I don't know. It might be Paramount Plus. If Spike says no, Paramount Plus might be it. Maybe they might go to TNT and TBS. And they might simulcast on Max with one of the two. Maybe they would go to CBS, but how willing is CBS to give TNA in 2024 a deal to have the weekly show TNA Impact on CBS, and if they want to simulcast on Paramount Plus, that might happen. Or they could go to Apple TV Plus. I don't know how much Apple is willing to say, okay, TNA, we'll give you a TV deal to have your weekly show be on Apple TV Plus. I don't know. And we also don't know, what does this mean for the streaming service Impact Plus? Does this mean it's gonna get a rebrand? Does it mean it's gonna shut down? Does it mean anything could happen? We might, there's no telling what could happen. It might, I don't know, merge with Fight. It might merge with Fight TV. What else might happen? Okay, this is more of a definite than anything. NJPW back in the company under the rebranded TNA, but we don't know which champions could appear. We don't know who could appear. We just know it's definitely gonna be TNA and NJPW under one company, working together, unless if someone decides to do something even bigger, where it's TNA more NJPW compared to what we got this year, where we had two shows So we might get more with NJPW, and we might get the same. But it's all up to NJPW. It's up to what TNA wants. It's going to be interesting to see how TNA and NJPW work together in 2024, because originally in 2009, this didn't work out. It was bad. It was so bad. They didn't work together until Impact rebranded to what they are today, Impact Wrestling. So it's it's going to be interesting to see how all this happens with NJPW, but also with them working with TNA in 2024. And then with this happening, could we see something unthinkable? Could we see, I don't know, okay, that's not going to happen because TNA, there's no TNA until January 14th with the Hard to Kill pay-per-view. Everything before then is Impact. So I was going to say, we're going to get TNA and we're going to get NJPW at Wrestle Kingdom. But I just remembered, nothing until at Hard to Kill has the TNA name, and it's Impact Wrestling. So, if anything, TNA going to Wrestle Kingdom would have to wait until January 2025. And another thing TNA is doing in 2024, they would still be working with the company in Mexico, AAA. AAA is how I found out about them. I found out about AAA through Impact Wrestling. It was Impact Wrestling. And it just got me thinking, what if TNA at AAA and the biggest show of the year for AAA in 2024, Triple Mania, they work together and they keep the partnership they have, and both companies exchange talent. So TNA goes to Triple Mania, and then AAA comes to TNA through TNA's biggest show of the year, BFG Bound for Glory in 2024. That is a likely scenario that we could see, but it just sounds more like, okay, the TNA, AAA working together for respective two big shows of the year, Triple Mania, BFG, Bound for Glory. It sounds more likely than anything. And what does this mean for So in 2024, it's really interesting with TNA returning. So this year, 2023, it was for the first time in the history of the company, Impact, they worked together with the biggest Joshi wrestling company in the world, Stardom. So with TNA coming back, are we gonna see TNA and Stardom in 2024? Now, we don't know how this could happen, but with you gotta think about it. With TNA working with NJPW, we're gonna see Stardom and TNA. That's something that never happened under the old partnership with NJPW back in 2009. So we might get Mayu Iwatani. I don't know if fans want that. I'm pretty sure fans want it, but I don't know what the demand is for her to go to TNA in 2024. So with Stardom going to TNA in 2024, where could this happen and when? They have 4 shows of the year TNA. There's Hard to Kill in January, Rebellion in April, Slammiversary in July, BFG Bound for Glory in October, the biggest show of the year. The most likely place I could see this happening where Stardom comes to TNA would have to be 2 shows. One would be the Slammiversary show in 2024, the SummerSlam of TNA, and then the WrestleMania for TNA, BFG, Bound for Glory. So how could you have 2 of the biggest shows of the year for TNA and not have Stardom? The first year TNA comes back in years and you're working with NJPW, but the only difference is this time you have Stardom. So what better way to do Slammiversary, BFG 2024, than have Stardom be a part of it? If you want to have, I don't know, the strong women's championship be a part of it. If you want to do just the IWGP Women's Championship, they could do both. They can do just one. They don't need to do both. But we don't know for sure what's going to happen. And then you think about Bound for Glory 2024. You have AAA from Mexico, the most popular Mexican wrestling company today. And then you add in Stardom for BFG 2024. That's a huge BFG. We don't know what the arena's gonna be. We don't know where it's gonna be. We just know that so many things are gonna happen with TNA coming back. When I first started watching TNA, I saw names such as Beer Money, James Storm, Gail Kim, Tracy Brooks, Boldy Way, Devon, Team 3D, James Storm and his team, BCC. There were teams such as Main Event Mafia. We had Kurt Angle. We had ODB. We had Mickey James. We had Suicide. We had Grado, Joe Park, the alter ego of the Master of Bitch, Absy. We had the K, which includes Absy, Rosemary, Crazy Steve. We had Jade. We had EC3. We had Rockstar Spud. We had the president at the time, Dixie Carter. We had Eric Young. We had Killian Dane going by the name Big Damo. We had Drew McIntyre going by the name Drew Galloway. We had Bobby Lashley. We had Marty Brown. CM Punk. We had the Beautiful People, Angelina Love, Velvet Sky, Awesome Kong. Who else do we have? We Moose, Eddie Edwards. We had so many names, and we don't know what's gonna happen in 2024. We also almost had Brock Lesnar, but that never happened. We had the final deletion, Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy, Father James Mitchell, Willow. Who else do we have? Black Taurus is going to be a part of TNA coming back. Just so many names. And this is going to be fun. TNA coming back. 2024, January. It can't come soon enough. I wish it was today. I wish TNA Hard to Kill, the first show, the first pay-per-view under the TNA name, was today or tomorrow. But it's coming. And TNA coming back. TNA fans are ready. I'm ready. And it should be fun. And that's all we have for articles. Tonight is a huge night. Just like we had UFC and WWE merge to form TKO, tonight is history making. Tonight is huge. Tonight is the first SmackDown on FS1 under TKO at 8. We don't know who could debut. We might get returns, but history is going to be made tonight on FS1 at 8. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you guys next week.